Hello Internet Dwellers, and welcome back to Bit by Block, the show where we recreate famous movie and television locations within Minecraft for funsies and for one day creating machinima. I am Jeff Bell here, and we just walked through the front of the motel that's the wrong way, Jeff, over here, there we go, that we created in last handful of episodes. We finished off the build. A couple little tweaks and minor adjustments. I might actually build eventually Marion's car, or just a car for the front here. That could be kind of fun. And then, like I said, last time we have to still shift over the road. It's still a little bit too far away from the front of the building here. We'll probably just shift the motel over, but I digress. Today's episode, where am I looking at? Oh, there we go. Today's episode, we are building the house. We are going to get right into the house itself. Now, a couple of quick little changes. I know when we originally designed when we first started the build here, I kind of laid out where roughly this whole thing is going to go. Yeah, that's all wrong. Having now gone back and looked at the just everything, basically, I don't want this. We are going to start over from scratch. This was just kind of a concept anyways. This was just to get us something out so we could figure out where I apparently cannot talk today. This was just kind of a concept to get the general gist of what we were going to build anyways. Now having built the motel, I realize I want to basically just do this all over again and not be restricted to what we came up with originally. So we are going to do exactly that. Let me just get rid of the rest of this house mock-up right here. Excellent. All right, now I can probably also get rid of this green block right here. I really don't remember why we built that. That was weird. Okay, so let me get up my blue here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do a little bit of terraforming on the episode today. I don't know exactly how much we're going to show on camera. It'll probably be shown on camera. We just might do a time lapse just to make things a little bit easier for everybody watching, because the terraforming can get to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, basically, if especially if the way I do it. So let's figure this thing out. Let's figure everything out. My best bet is probably we're going to end up building the mountain first, and then we'll build a staircase up. That was one of the reasons why I destroyed this, because actually looking at my photographs, my original blueprints I was using were not accurate. That's not, like, I had this staircase going off over that direction, when in reality, the staircase starts pretty much where we had it. It starts here, but then it goes up, and then it goes off at this angle, and then it goes straight up to the house. So I don't know what I was thinking. That was way off. But so basically, the house, or let's see here, the side of the mountain here, and it's a fairly straightforward mountain. It's nothing too complicated. Basically, just is going to end up kind of going over this way. And I'm not going to do this by hand like this. We're going to use Forge to fill all this in, and then kind of just have it kind of come out, and then probably just wrap back that way. So that's kind of the edge, quote unquote, and it's nothing too complicated. It's really just a slope up to a higher level that is higher than the roof line. So it's probably going to be like the house, the main floor of the house is probably going to be about right here. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe about here. Because obviously in the movie everything looked up to the house, and we want the house to be looking out over top of the motel. So that's about our edge, and then this kind of just goes along here for a little bit, and then it actually wraps back around over like this, and then we'll just kind of, we'll just fake the rest of this. A lot of this doesn't really get ever seen on camera in any of the movies or anything like that. So that's kind of just the general gist. So that whole area there is going to be filled in. Now, let's get the, wow, I just completely spaced. Wow, this is a great episode so far. So much energy, not energy whatsoever. A very long day yesterday, so, but let's get the tool up here. Let's get the terraforming tool up here, and we will go from here. Alright, sorry about that weird cut there. Had some issues with the tool brush. I had to figure out all the hiccups before we actually continued on with the re-episode, so here we go, we are ready now. Alright, what we're going to do, in Forge has, as you can see by all my mess-ups here, Forge has the ability to create a brush tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sphere. I'm just attaching it to this shovel. I guess if you're Jason Voorhees, it would be a weapon. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to assign it, because what you can do is you can assign a block within Minecraft to be your sphere. So we are going to assign the ID number 2, which is grass, because we're just going to make this a grassy mountain, and I want it to be a radius of 5. I believe 5 might be the highest you can go. Let's check here. Can we go up higher than 5? 6 is the highest you can go. Alright, so that's perfectly fine. 5, 6, we'll do 6, sure. Alright, so what this now does, words are hard, is it allows us to create a sphere. Now this should be a solid sphere, correct? Yes, it is a solid sphere of that particular texture. Now we're gonna just undo that so I can actually build this the way I want. So what we can do now, the beauty is this does kind of do a long range. So you can see I can put it way out there, which is awesome. So I don't have to be really close, so I can kind of just judge based upon how it looks from a distance, just to kind of see, you know, because it's better to see this from a long range than be up close to it. Plus, if you're up close to it and you place down a block, yeah, we are we are currently inside the block. Uh-oh. There we go. Now we're back. Okay. So that's why it's always good to kind of do this from a long distance. Now, let's try this out. So if I plop that there, how high is that? Okay, so that's definitely, height-wise, we're probably going to have to do, yes. So about there. So this is that's the height that we're technically going for total. So we're just going to have to stack these a little bit more. So in the meantime, let's just throw one out there, and let's get one there. How's that look? Yes. Yes. About there. How's our height? That's good. Okay. I moved that a little bit too close because we have to have a little bit of more of a slope. So this is gonna, let's go way back here. Let's go back to there and there. Okay. So that is our height for the house. Perfect. So then what we can do is then we can kind of just start filling in around this. And as you can see, it does build a full sphere. If I attack it from there, it does build a full sphere using this system. So I just am putting it closer to the ground, because the way I like to do this and the way I like to use this tool is kind of building up on top of it to kind of get my general my heights. So yeah, this is the interesting part. This is a part that I guess I don't tend to see a lot of videos focusing on this, because it can be very tedious and boring, but this is definitely kind of something. And now I know what you're thinking about, like right now, is like, well, this is all pop marked and whatever. There's another tool, again, for those of you who do not know the Forge tool, there is another tool in the arsenal that will allow us to smooth all this out, which I'm planning on going back once we get our general height for all of this. I'm planning on going back and using the smooth tool to fix those potential areas. So we will get back to that, and then go down. We want to make sure that's flat. So like I said, we're just kind of building the rough concept. So yeah, it's good enough. It's close enough. And one there, and then one there, and one there. Like this. Yeah, that's good enough. Like this, and this, and this. This is just so much simpler than, you know, even with the Forge tool. If we use this one that we were using to move stuff around, you can select an area and you can fill it in. Oops. You can fill it in with whatever block you want. So we could have technically just made a giant boxy area and filled it in with the grass, and then from there kind of carved out the slope on the side of the hill. And you know, there's other ways we could have gone about doing this. I just like using the sphere generation tool, and I know a lot of other people online will kind of agree with this. This just kind of it allows you to sculpt more. It kind of makes you feel more like you're actually sculpting this out of like clay and stuff. And it gives you a little bit more control over it, and it gives you a little bit more organic feel. So now, okay, so this is our height. So we need to get it up to roughly around one of those blocks. So this is where it gets a little trickier, because we want to make sure we don't, like that. That's actually a little too high. And again, what we could probably do is I probably can come back through here now, and then using this one, once we get the general height for everything, we could probably come through and just lop off the top part of this mountain. So maybe you know what, maybe we'll do that. That'll just probably be easier. Whoa, nope, you are too high. Actually a little too high for what I want there anyway, so there we go. La ba da ba da. So how's everybody else doing? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing good here? This is kind of a fun, this was right here. This was one of the reasons why I wanted to do the base motel and house for the second build. It was very fun doing the clock tower and doing all those, because that was definitely a, you know, an iconic thing that I always wanted to do, and I had attempted to do, and I just, you know, wasn't able to actually finish it the first few times I tried doing it. So that was more for me. This build, I knew I was going to have to terraform like this, and I wanted to try doing that. That's why I grabbed a nice flat plane. With these flat maps, you don't have any of these hillsides and mountains and stuff that you can kind of build with. And I did that intentionally. I didn't want necessarily a ton of like rocky surfaces or anything along those lines. I wanted it to be, oops, you are too high. I wanted it to be flat so I could build it however I wanted to. And like I said, I was able to then integrate in mountains if I needed to necessarily. So, okay, there's that, and there's that, and that. Well, we're missing a little bit over here. This is just a little too high. Okay. So let's come back out here. Maybe there. And maybe there, and maybe there, so that kind of tapers off. All right, so we have our little mountainside over there. Yeah, we want to keep this area kind of flat here, because this is where the staircase is going to go up. Now we got to figure out what our height is that we want this to be. Like I said, it looks like the flat surface where the house is built is pretty much maybe like a block or two higher than the roof line here, which would mean probably this row. No, you know what? Screw it. We'll go one more higher. This row right here is our high row. So these blocks are all completely unnecessary. So this is where we'll take this. Oh, shoot. That's the problem, though, is like I don't actually know. So it's this row right through here. This whole top can be cut. So we'll just cut that out like that. So we get a nice flat surface. Yeah, some of these are, and yes, I realize it probably wasn't actually fully flat, but you know, whatever, it's Minecraft. So we're gonna take, again, those are my creative liberties. And again, like we saw, that it does leave some gaps still, but that is easier. It's easier to fill in those little gaps than it is to try to do this all by hand or not have them correct. So we have a nice flat surface there. We can get rid of all of this over here. Let's just ditch that. Push you, and then we'll just go over. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop. Cut. Excellent. And this one was just a touch too high. Actually did a pretty decent job at keeping them all within the same same height area and restriction that I wanted, and that's going to fill in with grass, which is excellent. Okay, so now what we'll do is we're going to use the tool brush to smooth all this out. I always try to just use slightly different tools for all these things so I don't forget which one is which. Now, what is the command for the smooth one? I think it's just, yeah, it's just brush smooth. So I'm gonna do brush smooth. Does it have a radius for that? 2 times, 4 times, using any block. No. Let's try this. Ah, there we go. Yep. So as you can see, what it does is it kind of averages out whatever the blocks are that's in the area around it, and it creates a more less mathematical, block placement and a little more of a natural. And I think actually, we could try that. I think is there not a naturalize? Yes, there is. Oh, nope. What that does is that's going to put, okay, that would be if we had put stone down. Okay, so there is a command within Forge Tool here that allows you to naturalize a particular area. So if we had this hole selected, it would actually put 3 layers of dirt on top, and then everything else would be rock below. Well, you know, we could try that. Oh, but I don't want that's going to interfere with this. Yeah, you know what? This is just easier because this gives me a little more control over it. So what we do is we can smooth all this out so it looks less like we just plopped a whole bunch of cylinders all over the place. Just kind of make this look a little more of a natural mountainside. And yeah, there'll be trees, and we'll put some stuff. There's not a lot of trees. The landscape was actually fairly barren surrounding this because it's out in the middle of nowhere, so it's more of like just kind of general country, hills and trees area, but like that. See, like now instead of it being these obvious spheres, we're making it look a little bit more like natural mountains. And there's no right way or wrong way to do this, and this I am strictly just going off of what I think looks nice. There's no plans or no blueprints for the landscaping of the side of the mountain. So we have enough space. The house is going to be probably filling this. I'm wondering if before I go too far with this landscaping portion back here, I think I'm going to plop a few more just to get this a little bit further. Oops, nope, you guys are way too high. Dunno. I almost typed it again. Just to give us enough space. I'd rather this mountain range go way out, away from this build, than us not having enough space to actually build the house in. Yeah, that's too high, but I'll just have to fix it with my other tool. I don't know how big the house is going to be. The house isn't overly complicated, but there's also a ton of rooms in there, so I'm not gonna really know until we get into the building of the house to know how big the house will be in the end. It's not going to be way out here. We have to keep it back here on this set, or this chunk of the land, but I still want to make sure. I think that's going to be enough. That should be more than enough space. All right, so let me just, you know what? Well, we're going to do this. I'm going to kind of smooth out the landscaping here, and then I'll deal with lopping off the top if necessary. So I'm just going to naturalize all this part. Fun, kind of. Yeah, so we're going to see kind of what we get. I think what we'll be able to do in this episode is we're going to get all this landscaping done, and then we will get the groundwork laid for the house itself. And then next time we will start building out all the house. So you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to do the next portion of this in a time lapse, because now that you kind of know what I'm doing, this is very tedious. It's just kind of the same thing over and over and over again, and there's no need for you guys to sit and watch all of that. So I'll be right back after we're done with this time lapse, and go. Alright, and we are back. So as you saw in that time lapse, I finished off all of the landscaping, mountainscaping, I guess. Still not quite finished. I have a feeling I'm just going to keep going back every once in a while and be like, that looks too much of a drop-off. I don't like that. I don't like that. There we go. Well, we kind of went through and finished off a lot of the mountaining here. I was just thinking, as I was looking and filling in this last portion, this might still not be big enough. I don't know. I really don't know. So we might have to come back and add more there, but we got a good base here to start. So what we are going to do is we are going to do at least the staircase leading up, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, so let's get out our classic stairs and classic stone. We will be doing these guys because these are correct. This is a stoned walkway, a little borderlining on brick. Could be kind of more of a bricky one, but these look more accurate towards what the design actually is. Now give me my slabs, because I'm gonna maybe need my slab. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. You know what we could do? We have, oh, that's right, because that's a different texture pack, isn't it? Okay, so here, let me show you this real quick. If I turn off my, oh goodness, where's it at? We turn off flow. I'm using flows as my default texture pack here. Let's turn this off and we'll go back into the game, which, by the way, here is the here's the build in the default texture pack, which actually, you know what, it still doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Things look nice, actually. Considering, oh, I thought that was grass in there. I forgot we put green carpet. Don't use the railing. So one of the things I was thinking of is, like, because these staircases are kind of old, we could use the cracked bricks in comparison to the normal ones, just because I like the old look to it. But because of the texture pack I'm in, those do not look like that. Give it a second just to reload it. They are a completely different design in 1.7.10. I know Flows is in the process of updating this. I can look eventually and see if they've updated it all the way. But, so see, that's the cracked version of this. And these look cool, and these look great, but they look great for other reasons, not for the staircase. So we are going to be just using the standard staircases, or the standard bricks, for this entire build. Make sure none of these are the monster ones. Nope, okay. Alright, so back here a little ways, behind this, and this actually looks like it cuts into the mountain slightly, especially when it goes up that way, so we'll be sure to integrate that feature momentarily. We got a little bit back here. It's at a little bit of an angle. We're going to go just a little more straightforward with these stairs compared to what the actual ones look like. So here's going to be our end, and we're going to make these 2 wide. That's a person? Yeah, that's about right. We'll make them 2 wide. So here's our base. And gotta go stairs up. So gotta do 2 sets of stairs up for that. This will be just detail work that we'll come back to later. There is a little bit of a landing platform here, so we will cut this out. It's gonna be another like that, and like this. Go up, yep, like this. So this is the landing platform. In the mid-ground here, it turns, and then we're gonna go just straight up at an angle this way, which we will cut. And any other way, like I said, the way this is designed is this is actually removed. So this staircase is also acting as like a barrier wall for the mountainside. So we're gonna cut into the mountain, much like that, and then we need to go over like this. I'm gonna just kind of resculpt this mountainside as we go, and then immediately gonna go up with the stairs, and this is where I was debating if no, I need that. Come back. I was debating if, again, much like what we did for the roof, if the stairs themselves were too steep, or if it was better, because like I feel like maybe here we need to go with the slabs to just make this be, because this step up is a little more gradual. This is that's actually almost a little too steep for my tastes. So maybe we will do the stairs, and then we just do that for every other one, like this. And now this staircase is about there, it looks like to me. So one more, do up like that. Yeah, all right, so then this is the other landing, which again, it does the same thing. And yes, like I said, I know in the actual floor plans for this is at a little more of an angle. I guess, oh, I'm sorry, hit the microphones. I guess we probably could build it at a little bit of an angle, especially if we are using the slabs. The staircase, the actual stairs would only work really on straight flush areas, so maybe we could, let's try it, why not? Like I said, this episode is basically going to be getting these staircases up and then the start of the house, so it's not going to be full-blown normal episode. So this is going to be like this. So we approach it like this. Now, you know what? No, just to make our lives easier, we are just going to do this flush like this. That's just going to make everything So much simpler in the end for everybody involved, mostly me. So all right, so there's that, and then this one's actually a little bit, yeah, I'll say this one looks like it's a little bit bigger of a landing platform, so we're gonna do like that. Maybe do that, because then this will come up alongside it, like so. And then turn there. And then this is all gonna be like this. Oops, not that one, like this. So we'll fill in you like so. And, you know, it's almost the staircase is almost like castle-like. It's almost like a big, you know, imposing castle staircase going all the way up to the top of the set. You know, we probably could just fake that one with that one because that looked a little more. It's not a giant. It's not a giant railing. It's barely enough to keep you on. Oh, we want those two, and then we're going to go into this. And I've already decided that this needs to be changed. If we're going to go this route, we're going to do it like this. Just to, yeah, that's better. I like that better. Oops, so we use you, and then we use you. Actually, no, we could just use you like that. There we go. And then you in, and then you in, and then you in, and then you there. Excellent. There we go. Yes. Yep, the slabs look a lot nicer. They look a lot more gradual, plus then you have a longer approach up into the mountain, or up into the house. So now the rest of this goes up goes up all the way. So we will just continue doing what we did here. And then slab, and then staircase, slab, oops, not staircase, sorry, stone brick is what I meant to say. And then this, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then we're up on the top. So then that's our final approach staircase. Excellent. We will just, yeah, we're gonna wrap you around like that. You come up here, and here, and here, and there. These are all very technical episode. It's a very technical episode terms too here. And the way this is just alternating back and forth between the slab and stones, like so, just to kind of keep the. There we go, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then you. Oops. Oh no, I guess I can use that. That'll work. Like that. And then yeah, and then that. And then nah, there we go. Alright. That looks a little funky. It should not actually go there. This one should go there. Like that. And I'm just filling that with grass. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so then that's our staircase up to the house. We will grab just another tool here. We will grab the stone pickaxe. Ah, there we go. But then just do that. Nope, this. There we go. I'm just gonna fill in this whole gap. Yep, so we're gonna get rid of this up until the edge there, and then it's gonna kind of grow back over. So we'll dig all you out, and then kind of just do that. There we go. Make it look a little more natural. Maybe fill in a little bit like that, like the ground's kind of shifted out over the years. Yes, this is what I think about when I build in Minecraft. There we go. Yeah, so we'll go like that, maybe like that. There we go. Like it almost kind of, maybe the ground's settled a little bit over the years. They've built this wall, but it's fallen. The ground's kind of shifted, and oops, I want this. Like that. There we go. And then that'll all fill in with grass over time. Or, well, it should. It should fill in with grass over time. Otherwise, we just do like this and just fill it all in right now so it doesn't look funky. There we go. Now it's filling in. Dirt should spread naturally. Just I also have the rain turned off for a little while. Do not spite me and start raining right when I say that. I just would have expected that to happen. And there's also a bunch of trees and bushes all along this line, so that kind of will help fill in that gap a little better. So now as long as we don't see any dirt where there's supposed to be stone, which they don't. Excellent. That looks all good. I do want to knock that out. I don't want any of the dirt to be on the same row as, like, I don't want it to be level, like, in line with the ledge here. So like this one will go down. Actually, probably could have kept this one back there just to have a little bit there, and then we'll knock this down. There we go. That's also too steep. We're just gonna get rid of this. It's all way too much of a drop off. This is a more gradual incline up to the house. This is a little too steep for my taste. And then and then Like I don't like 2 blocks high. I want it to be just a gradual incline. Like that. Perfect. And you're okay, you're okay. Brilliant. You are too much of an incline. Excellent. Too much of an incline. Excellent. 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 Okay, we're done. We're done for that for now. One more. Right there. Okay. Oh, son of a bitch. There we go. Okay, so now we can go on. Now we can go on to the house. Now, up here, there's really, I'm assuming what it is it's going to be probably just some coarse dirt. Oops. I spelled coarse wrong. Of course I did. We're going to do this as the path that's leading from the walkway here. This will lead up into the house. Which, based upon this, oh, you know what? There's also that and that. There's kind of these pillars. I forgot to put these on here. There's kind of these pillars every so often. And then, let's drag. Dragon. Oh, I can't get the dragon egg, can I? Oh, I can. I just gotta probably give it myself instead. We will use, for the time being, we are going to use these. Sorry, I started saying this. There's almost like decorations at the top there once you reach the top of the house. So, looks like a big bowl or something like that. So we'll just use the anvils in place of those, and we're using the very old ones to kind of, signify the age of falling apart. Okay, moving on to the house itself. So that goes all the way up. Oh, I missed another one. There's actually one here. There we go. Yeah, that works. All right. So moving up to the house. The house itself technically faces at an angle. Oh my goodness, are we gonna do that? That's gonna be kind of a pain, isn't it? Let's look at some photos here. Yep, we are gonna have to build this house at an angle, because otherwise it'd be facing this direction, and that's not as dramatic. It actually faces this way. So we're gonna build this at an angle. All right, we are going to build this like an actual house would be built. We're going to do a stone base, and then the decoration or the siding and all that stuff is just going to go from there up. So let me try to find my good floor plans for what the house looks like here. We are going, all right, so that's windows. Okay, we're going to use this. Okay, we're going to put it back just a little bit ways from the house, or from the walk. So we have all this area to work with. So we're going to put it, front porch is going to be right there. So yeah, we are actually, it is probably more likely that it's facing this direction, but just for the sake of making this as easy as humanly possible, we are going to put it at a 45-degree angle for it, just because otherwise our slabs on the ground would end up being stuff like this. Or less than that, and that gets to be too hard. As it is, I don't know how we're gonna do the door for this, so we'll just have to figure that out when the time comes, because the door is only gonna face this way. The door won't face 45. I wish you could angle a door across this. If you could in Minecraft have like an opening like this and angle a door 45 degrees, seriously, so many builds would be 10 times easier. and make life so much simpler for a lot of builders. Okay, so the way that this house is built, it actually has a front porch on it that extends further out. So this is actually going to be the front porch area, which we are going to make 5 blocks wide, and then come back about there. So then this is all going to be filled in. We're just going to do this 3-block wide porch. Front porch is, yep. So then the house itself, this front little sticky outy part is going to be here. Sticky outy part, technical term, do not mind yourself with it. And then if that come back a little bit, so we're going to have this go out to there. Actually, the porch is wider than this front house portion is. So I'm going to cut it down to this. And then we'll end up using carpet, whatever like that, just to fill this area in. We'll come back. So that's the front sticky outy part. And then from here, it's going to go over each direction even. For the most part, it's split down the middle. So we're going to build this with odd numbers so that way it's an even on both sides. So like this front porch is 5. And then the house, as I say that, then I proceed to have the house actually be an even number. But what we're going to do, let's see here. Let's figure this out. So that's the end. That's the edge where they meet up. So 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 4. It's almost divided into thirds. The house is almost divided into thirds itself. So I'm going to build this one side first, and then we'll build the other side. So that would be enough for a window, and then a solid wall corner, and then 2 solid wall corners from here. The windows are not in the middle, they're actually off to one side. So this would work well because we'll basically have, like that with a window right there, which we could use a glass block for. So that comes in handy. So we're going to do that exact same thing on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is where it's going to turn. So the house will turn on that one. This front porch just looks gigantic then compared to that, doesn't it? It is bigger. The front porch is technically bigger than that little thing. So, okay, let me turn to my side profile here. What do we got? Alright. So... this needs to be deeper. This is not deep enough. I did not go far enough back. Okay, we actually need to make this be probably 4 blocks. So I'm off by a block. That's not far. That's not bad. Let's see, 4 blocks. Does that work better? 4 blocks might work. If all else fails, again, like I said, we just shift this whole portion back if this is not far enough back for it. This front part does stick out quite a bit from the rest of the house. There is actually a window, which if we do it like this will work great because the window for this portion is in fact in the middle, so it would be here. So we would have a solid one, and then that's the corner. So that works just fine. We're going to go back. So then we'll have that one. So then there's a window here. Solid wall, window, solid wall. So solid wall, window there, 2 solid walls in the middle, and then solid wall. Okay, and then this, does it turn on this side? My floor plans, oh, yep, so these are identical. Oh, okay, actually. Sorry, my floor plans are slightly different. This one, the window's in the middle, so the window's gonna be there, not there. And again, the cement is just for me to figure everything out for now. Actually, it should be there, which means that this is gonna be turning at this point. Is that a big enough room? That's a big enough room. This part is just a little off. So then we turn, and I do not know how far in. Does it look like that is in line with that? We're not going to go entirely. So it kind of looks like that the house is actually this very narrow little hall with this little outcropping on both sides. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just kind of fake this portion just to give it some more interest because it's a little... I don't have an overhead view, do I? Oh, I kind of do. Oh yeah, no, that is... I am doing it correctly. As it doesn't go all the way in line with that. So I'm going to do here, and go here. There's enough space for a window, so we have a corner, a window, a corner, turn, and then this is going to go, so we ended up building 3 out from there. So on this side, my mouse is so touchy that it keeps sliding around on the keypad. There it is, and then this, and then that, right? Yes. So then we go 1, 2, was it 3? Is that all we did? We just did 3 over for there, and then come back on the third one, to there, and then we're gonna go over 1, and then this one actually has a little bit of an outcropping here. So this is, oh, you know what, that'd be actually the back porch. Okay, never mind. So then that is the house. How is that? I guess compared to our thing, it's not bad. All right, what we'll do is once we build this sucker, then we'll actually know. So, okay, so according to my blueprints, we're gonna do. Let's go back to the. We'll go back to this. We'll go back to the wool for these, so we can kind of plan things out. So, oops, oh my goodness, just hitting buttons at this point. So this is like this, going all the way across. Okay, so here's the front. We have. Looking at the blueprints. So once you walk inside the house, the stairs are going to be here. Oops. Nope. We have to. So there's a parlor. So this is the dining room is in here. All right. So it takes up that. There's a doorway there, and that's a wall. Wall. We're going to have a doorway going into this room at the base of the stairs. So the stairs start here, like so. The door's there. This is the kitchen area. Oh, there is not enough space. We did not make this big enough. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? All right, you know what? For this episode, we're gonna cut this episode a little short. We're gonna leave it here. I'm gonna have to do some test work of this off camera because I want to make sure that we get this base scale correctly. Yeah, like looking at this now, this just does not look to scale. It does not look right. I guess there is, you know, what we could do. Let's try this. Let's just to see. Okay. So if left as we have it, that would be the house. Which I guess in the rest of the scale of what we have going on, that does look, it's not a giant house. The motel is a lot larger than the actual house itself. I'm just wondering if maybe we extend everything out by 1 block. Just give it a little more space. Because I worry that this is really cramped and tiny inside here. And I mean, I guess technically, if necessary, we could always build a larger version of the inside of the house elsewhere and use it basically as a lot, as a studio lot, and not build it inside the house. Which they would have done. That's not what they would have. They did that in the actual filming of the movie. So maybe this is okay. All right, well, you know what? Either way, what I'm going to do is we are going to leave it here for this week's episode, and next week we will come back and we will finish off the house, at least the outside, and then maybe a little more landscaping or a little more just kind of outside decoration, and then perhaps after that we will worry, because I want to also get in the basement. I want to get the basement. If we built this hill, I want to put a basement into this that we could go into, so lots of those little things that I want to make sure that we do this correctly. Again, as opposed to the Back to the Future episode where we didn't actually care about the way things looked on the inside, I do for this particular series. Just, you know, this one is a little different. So, all right. Well, with that, ooh, which way am I at? Let's face the house. Yeah, there's my screenshot right there, buddy boys. With that, I am your host, Jeff, and thank you guys for watching this week's episode. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below in the comments and question section of YouTube, and we definitely will read them. We like reading any kind of responses we get from anybody, especially on these theories. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see all of you next week for more Bit by Block on the Psycho Build. Woo! Dirt in your general direction.